Just said no video games are allowed at the team hotel. What do you guess? I guess where does your mind go? Night before the game, morning of the game, and stuff.
It's all about focus. All about what we worked on the week, and just thinking about that, and also trying to just clear our mind, get a good night rest, and no distractions anymore. And we're just gonna go out there and show what we can do and play our hardest.
Can you sleep well the night before a game?
Yeah, I sleep well.
Coach told us yesterday that the previous 4 practices have been really good for the receivers. I'm guessing it's been good for you as well if it's good for them. So tell us about that and how the offense is clicking heading into game day.
Yeah, we're clicking really well right now, especially heading into game week. The last 4 or 5 practices, it's been good for the offense as a whole. Completing more balls, catching the ball a lot better than we had been in fall camp. So I'm excited for those guys, and they've been doing a great job.
Is that a general byproduct of just now having worked through the offseason, had 4 weeks of practice, and timing is better?
Yeah, I think timing's better. I think it's all about them knowing what to do during that play, and not trying to focus on what they actually have to do, and just get in there and making the catch, and a lot more focus. Those guys are getting on the jugs machine a lot more, and just working harder at it.
You've got some running backs who could be weapons catching passes. Do you expect maybe even more of that this year?
Yeah, 100%. You guys saw last year at Michigan with those 2 running backs they had catching the ball at the backfield, and obviously we have Rooster and Henry who can also do the same thing. So Coach Gaddis' offense, it relies on a lot of running backs catching the ball, tight ends, and I see a lot of that this year.
How nice has it been for you to see Zion back out there the last couple practices?
Yeah, it's been good. He's still working through it, and I talked to him a lot, and he's feeling a lot better. And I'm just excited that he's going to be back soon. So.
How different does Will make this offense when he's healthy?
A lot. Will's a special playmaker, and you have to almost double cover him to stop him. So that's going to bring a lot of attention to him and help the other receivers out and make plays too, because they're going to try to game plan for him especially. So, but yeah, he's a playmaker.
You guys always play through bumps and bruises, but him having the shoulder, really kind of trying to keep him safe throughout camp. Mm-hmm. Any precaution during the season with him? Do you try to make sure put the ball in a way where he's not getting smashed by safety or any of that?
Yeah, I'm not going to throw him into a safety and have him get messed up. But, he's a big body in the middle. He'll go up and make the play, and if he takes a hit, he takes a hit. But I'm not going to force it in there where he's going to take a big shot. So.
How would you describe? Obviously, the expectation is to get a win in the opening game, but I guess how important is it for this team to set the tone with a win on Saturday?
Yeah, it's very important. It doesn't matter who we're playing. This team is a good team. They brought in a lot of transfers, so we're just going to go out. It doesn't matter who we're playing, and play our hardest. We got to go dominate up front in the trenches and make plays down the field.
How would you describe it is to get a lot of kids playing time in this first game?
Yeah, we're not so much worried about that. We're just worried about just going in there and dominating. If it happens, it happens. Hopefully we get that, but we got to go in there and dominate up front in the trenches and do what we do best.
How would you describe Rashard Smith as a weapon, and what does he bring to the wide receiver room?
Yeah, Rashard's a great player. One of the fastest guys in there, special playmaker. He's going to bring a lot of those explosive plays coming in. Not even only in the pass game, but we have some other stuff made for him like we did last year. And he's a special talent in that receiver room, so I'm excited to see him play.
Malik Curtis is a young quarterback, but we're hearing coaches talk about him a lot. Do anything in the second scrimmage, or do you kind of stand out or look kind of like, hey, who is this dude?
Yeah, I would say Malik Curtis has been one of the players that has developed the most over. He was a freshman last year, sophomore now. So over this past year, he's been making plays. He's been getting with the 1s, 2s, and making plays on all the quarterbacks and all the receivers. So Coach Ponce calls him Wheezy, and he was like, "You better not throw to Wheezy anymore," because he's been making plays, and he's developed a lot.
Just with the secondary in general, a lot of guys returning, but what's different, or do you see something different with this group, maybe even from spring or a year ago?
Who is that?
The secondary as a whole that you're facing. There's a lot of returners, but is there anything different that you're seeing?
Yeah, a lot of returners. they press a lot, press bail, and it's been hard on the receivers in fall camp, and I feel like that's been good for us, to struggle a little bit at that in the beginning and make the receivers work. And I think that the receivers have really improved just because they've been doing that, especially with corners like Tyreek, Corey, DJ, Isaiah Dunson, DP. There's a bunch of guys that, like on defense, we have a bunch of starters that might not start, but they're really starters, so especially D-line, the secondary. So I'm excited to see the defense improve this year and watch them play.
Coach Chris, we'll do a couple more for Tyler. How you developed as a leader in the past year. How are you taking a role in getting those backup quarterbacks ready for these first 2 games where they're probably going to get some reps?
Yeah, no, we just compete every day, they get the reps too in practice, whether it's the two reps or 3 reps. So, we make each other make each other better every day in that room, and always push each other. And I know they're ready to play. So.
Tyler, is it a lot different this year? You came into the season last year as a backup behind Eric King, and then he gets injured. You have to come in, and finish out the season. How different is it this year? You're going into, a game where you're the starter in week 1. You've had all this off-season anticipation and hype up to this game.
Yeah, it is different just because of that aspect where I'm now the guy going to week 1, but my preparation hasn't been any different from this year to last year. I always watch film like I was a starter. I always practice like I was a starter. So the preparation is the same, but as leadership-wise, yeah, it's different. I'm the guy now, so I have to make sure those guys always stay positive and always are ready to work.
Have you given Jakari kind of any advice on what it's like being a backup quarterback? Because I know he was a starter in high school for 4 years.
Yeah, no, we all had the same thing coming in. You just gotta just be developed and understand that your time could come whenever, and you always have to prepare like you're the starter. And I always tell those guys too that you guys need to be ready. You never know what can happen.
Has he been doing well with like signaling or other tasks he gets assigned, I guess?
Yeah, he's been signaling a little bit. He's been going in there too and making some plays, so he's been doing a good job.
Thank you, Tyler.